Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Color X Malice Unlimited, and we are in Shiraishi's route, and we normally we would be getting our good ending in this part, but I don't think we will, just because we haven't even hit Chapter 4 yet, and we usually are always in Chapter 4 by the time we hit this point. So I don't know if it was the epilogue that kind of threw it off, you know, because that was like an extra kind of 15 minutes that most of the other guys we didn't get in their route, so, but we'll see. We'll do what we can in this episode, and the next one might be his good ending, and or we might get the good ending in this part, and we just do all the extras after we do the bad ending and the normal ending in the next part. I don't know, we'll see. So anyway, this is Hoshino. We've arrived at the target location. The sandbox that Kurose designated as the meeting location was the training facility where Shiraishi was indoctrinated as an Adonis agent. That's a mouthful, that whole sentence, Jesus. On the surface, it appeared like a normal pharmaceutical company, but in the lower levels, illegal research and human experimentation was being carried out. Everything inside was confiscated during the last investigation, and it was shuttered from the public. How does it look from the outside?
There are security cameras at the entrance. I don't see any other contraptions. I'll have to get closer to find out.
The training facility's underground. Once we close off the entrance, you can't get away. We think we have an idea where the bomb is. I've dispatched field ops there.
Wait, you're right that this place isn't easy to penetrate. Actually, it's impossible to flee. Kurose obviously knows that.
So you're saying he picked that place for a reason?
And this is where we grew up. Here we were told time and time again to give our lives to Adonis, and that nothing else mattered. Kurose has no intention of fleeing. He's not serious about the rebirth of Adonis. His only mission objective is to kill me. Once he achieves that, well, you can easily imagine what he'd plan to do.
You know a way to prevent him from killing himself?
What was Kurose thinking to make him do this? I tried to figure out why. But the hearts of people are so transient. I can't say for certain that it would succeed. But I don't want anyone to die. And that's why I need to ask you for some time.
You think I can just trust a criminal like you?
It's difficult to prove it with words, so I want to show you by my actions.
While Morioka hesitated, Shiraishi pursed his lips tightly. Then Morioka decided, I'll be listening in on the conversation just as I always have. If I determine that it's more than you can handle, we'll charge in. So do you mean that you'll hold off until then? You've been listening to our whole conversation, so, okay. Has he been listening to our conversation while we were at the amusement park? Because then, okay, we're just friends. We're not dating, nothing like that, because he wants to protect me. But then in front of frickin' Minagishi, we're talking about, remember that time we were talking about going to the amusement park, and Minagishi's like, yeah, not dating my fucking ass, right? And then now, Morioka's like, I heard you making out in the fucking Ferris wheel. Bullshit, you're not dating. We're not doing really good at pretending we're not dating Shiraishi for our, reputation. We gotta suck at this. They were listening the whole fucking time. The fuck? Did no one think of this? Anyway. Do you mean you'll hold off until then? Anyway. There's no guarantee Kurose didn't set up bombs there. I'll be working on my end to confirm whether he can properly be neutralized.
And thank you, Morioka. I'll try to repay your trust.
Once we ended the conversation, we both turned to the entrance. So we were on the phone with him, but he's like, I'll be listening into the conversation. So obviously we're wiretapped. Again! I guess we can't hear them, but they can hear us. It's time. I took out my firearm. No matter what Kurose does, I'll protect you, Shiraishi. We still have a firearm? I thought they took him away from us after the quarantine ended.
And that's my line. I want to protect you too,
Unless they gave it to me for this purpose, Oh my god, okay, there's no trigger thing. I'm like, oh god, are we gonna get another bad ending when I fail to kill him? He patted me on the shoulder, and then he ran for the entrance. I chased after him. The underground was dark and stifling. This is the hallway where he had those conversations with Mikuni. I checked the rooms near the entrance, but there was no sign of Kurose. We've come pretty far down. We looked back at the path we came on and then I looked back at the path we came on and then looked toward Shiraishi, starting to understand why this place was called the sandbox. We moved past many rooms that were likely used for experiments. Shiraishi said that they were treated like guinea pigs to test their individual abilities. That's what he said, but after seeing the scale of their operations, this is unforgivable. I felt powerless after seeing this up-close glimpse of what took place here.
It's a disgusting place to look at, I know.
Huh? I didn't mean to...
Don't force yourself. You might not realize it, but you've been scowling the whole time.
Scowling?
Yeah, like you're mad at something on my account.
Aww. Look, he looks so happy. He's like, oh, it's so nice of you to be mad about things on my account. I know that saying anything would be meaningless now, but I feel so absolutely disgusted.
I wish I could have told myself that when I was only seeing a small part of the world when I was stuck in this place.
I wish I could have told myself that I was only seeing a small part of the world when I was stuck. Okay, never mind. Well, I read that wrong.
And then there's someone who'll see me for who I am, regardless of my abilities. And then I'll meet her after leaving this place. I tell past me that they might not believe it, but I've started to care about her so much more than Adonis.
Shiraishi said that with a big smile. Please don't praise me so much. If you told past Shiraishi that and he met me, he might get disappointed.
And that's not true. I'm glad I had a wish. I feel that from the bottom of my heart.
Shiraishi stopped in front of a certain room and touched the door. I was going to say, it's going to be that room where, like, they were like, oh, number 14, you're awesome. Number 13, you suck. And he was all pissed at him. So, you know, this room. This room is different from the others. The odd room resembled a white box. There was nothing there except the monitors on the wall and security cameras. There's no trace of things having been removed. Meaning, this is the way the room was when Adonis was still around. This place is... Huh? I heard a strange noise from behind and quickly turned around. The door shut on its own and shutters came crashing down. We're trapped? Oh no. And if Kurose's not actually in here, then that's like... I tried to pull up the shutters, but they didn't budge. Long time no see, number 14. Doesn't this place bring back memories? That voice. Kurose. Shiraishi nodded and looked around the room.
Your message at the amusement park said that my elder brother was here. I remember the person who received the same training here.
You're laughing at my failure, aren't you?
We're the same, and no doll is better or worse than another.
We're not the same. You and I are different. I'm more useful than you.
And that thinking is dangerous. You're not controlling your emotions.
Shiraishi was a better robot.
Number 13. Even among the agents, you were the most dedicated to Adonis.
There he is. I didn't expect this. I thought you'd have forgotten about me long ago.
We were taught to erase useless things from our memory, but I can never forget your eyes.
I see. Unlike you, I remember you very well. Number 14, you did everything well. Neither I nor any of the others were able to defeat you in anything. We all knew you'd be placed on an important mission. Even the leader had high hopes for you. And yet, you took our god, our world. You killed him with your own hands. Not only did you kill him, you betrayed him before killing him.
I won't deny that. I tend to allow myself to be punished for that. But tell me something first. The god you speak of is Mikuni and not Zero, correct?
Of course. Zero is the symbol of Adonis, but he was nothing but a figurehead. How dare you? How dare you talk about Sayaki that way? He's my friend, goddammit. Wait, what? This may be the first time I've heard an Adonis member disregard Zero. I've heard rumors that their organization had been complicated since the X-Day incidents began. Master Mikuni is of the proper bloodline and was the chosen one. He guided us. There's no way that you've forgotten that.
Right. Even though we were brainwashed to never defy Zero, it was always Mikuni that moved us. So when Mikuni was still alive, did he order you to kill me?
Shiraishi clenched his fist tightly as he asked that, seemingly because he was enduring something. I know he wants to know the answer to that question, but a part of him is scared to know the answer. But Shiraishi still stepped in, because that was the only clue he had left that could let him truly know Mikuni. There was nothing for me to do right now save to accept that answer alongside him. I waited for Kurose to speak with that resolve in my heart. Oh.
I always love dealing with mysteries. You get to find out what you didn't know before. Stimulating my intellectual curiosity was fun. But right now, I'm simply scared.
I was ordered by Master Mikuni to check on your movements. He sensed that you were being influenced by that woman from an earlier stage. When I observed you as ordered, I was surprised. A trace of the at first, no act. You were discreetly offended every this. Is this me or the music like making? Maybe it's skipping. It's weird.
I'm terribly sorry, but please forgive the lapse. Any punishment.
I didn't hear anything. Nothing.
It was the same as the responsibility of leading Adonis incomparable. Although we knew there were signs of betrayal, normally one wouldn't simply let it go. Why didn't he kill me? That thought started to constrict my heart, and I didn't realize what the sensation was.
I remember when you killed Master Mikuni like it was yesterday. I mean, it was like a year ago. Never mind. My brain was like, in every other Reddit, be like, well, it was only a few months ago. But in this one, it was like a year ago. So, I mean, okay. I'll never forget that despair. Fucking Danganronpa. Okay, I'm just saying. Right before Master Mikuni's death that day, we agents were entrusted with a wish. This is my final order. I will release you all from duty. You're now free. There's no need to be imprisoned by your own past. It will be a world where you won't be ordered to murder or to suppress your own heart. You'll walk with your own 2 feet and see the world with your own 2 eyes and achieve your very own dreams. I don't know what his voice sounded like. I don't remember what we did, so.
My very own dreams. My voice shook. I know this. His dream is...
He must have foreseen his own death. He'd been suffering from the rift with Zero. Who knew when an assassin siding with Zero would kill him? That's why he left these words to me. He entrusted the future to us chess pieces, for his ideal to change this country, to rid evil in this world and start a blood rebellion, succeed the will of Adonis and create a just world. He's crazy.
To erase evil. A rebellion. And no,
we were raised as dolls, so we don't have our own dreams. The others stopped thinking there, but I'm different. I understood what he meant. I don't think you did. Master Mikuni did everything for us. Our dream is Master Mikuni's dream itself. No matter what happens, I'll grant that dream, and you stand in the way of it, number 14. Your blood will pay for your sins. Only then can Adonis truly be reborn. Death to the traitor, light to Adonis. That is his wish.
No, you're wrong. Mikuni didn't wish for that. How can you not understand after hearing his last words?
Don't you have your own dreams? I hope that even you dolls will have your own dreams.
Mikuni didn't see me as some doll. He saw me for who I am. When he was the leader of Adonis, he had to treat the dolls like tools. But even so, he must have felt guilty about it. Even though it was to achieve his ideals, he built us up and sacrificed us as chess pieces. But he couldn't stop, because his ideal was everything to him. Mikuni shouldered the fate of Adonis with determination, and that caused him to commit a number of crimes. He was a cruel criminal.
What?
But he was still a human with real emotions. He sacrificed others for his own dreams. He knew that he'd be saddled with guilt. He was a kind yet arrogant human being. And that's why he hesitated, worried, and suffered. He made many things he wanted to protect. To protect something, you must lose another. He knew that better than anyone. He knew, and then he made his choices. And in the end, he wished for the chess piece's release and future. He wanted to live out his life as none other than Rei Mikuni himself.
Who the hell do you think you are?
What
What are doing? Wow. Good lord, game.
what you're doing is the opposite of Mikuni. What he really wanted was...
Shut up! You left the organization, so what do you know? Don't defile the conviction of Adonis!
Spacey saw smoke coming into the room, and she inched backward.
Killing you quickly would be no fun, so I prepared a diluted version of the poison. You seem to be resistant to it, but what about her?
Spacey had a handkerchief over her mouth while looking at me.
I'm fine.
That's not nearly enough to help you.
That woman is just as guilty. Number 14, enjoy the show as she perishes before your eyes.
This faculty is surrounded. If you kill us here, it's only a matter of time until you're caught.
You don't need to tell me. I know that.
I thought you were going to take over Mikuni's will and rebuild Adonis.
I simply prioritized the extermination of the traitor.
We were told time and time again to give our lives to Adonis. Protecting Adonis was top priority, and we must think of how to help it survive. And normally, that is. You're not doing this for Adonis. You're trying to avenge Mikuni. And that's not how a doll thinks.
Are you telling me I have a defect?
No. I'm saying that acting on your own is something that dolls can't do. You're making these moves as a human being named Shu Kurose.
Human? That's not possible. I've always aimed to be the perfect doll. I'm different from you. I'm more useful than you. Otherwise, the whole meaning of my existence. Hoshino? Yes? The bomb at the park is disarmed. We're searching for any other bombs, but most of the people there have been evacuated. We're ready to breach the training facility at any time. Shiraishi?
Yeah, Kurose, you heard it. You have nowhere to run.
You think you've won already? It's true you disarmed the bomb faster than I thought, but it's still too late. Even if they charge him right now, I could just turn up the concentration of poison. Or would you prefer the detonation of the armband? You're just another criminal and police officer. The police have no qualms about sacrificing the two of you. Oh well, we won't die that easily. You can act as tough as you want, but that doesn't change reality. Your life is in my hands. One press of the switch and you're blown to bits. It's too bad I won't get to see you die. But I'm kind for making it painless, don't you agree?
Kurose's voice got lower. It seemed to show that he wouldn't hesitate.
No. Oh, number 14. I see no. Number 14. It's your turn to despair.
I heard a switch pressed through the speaker. Kurose must be laughing at his moment of victory, but...
What? Why isn't anything happening? Sasazuka, bitch!
It's no use. Did you really think I'd let her keep wearing such a dangerous thing? It's already been disarmed.
Disarmed? How?
I have a friend that's good with these things. He went without sleep to find a way.
Fucking Sasazuka.
Yes. The armband on Spacey was no longer functional. It'd been disarmed even before we went to the amusement park.
There are 2 issues to report. I have good news and bad news. That's what the good news was, okay.
Let's hear the good news first.
The mission plan will be relayed to you later. There's a need to act prudently.
This was the good news that Minagishi told us about. We were sincerely thankful to Sasazuka for disarming the armband. No other Adonis member had surfaced for this incident. There was too high a risk for you to attack Mukai or to place the armband on her. To top it off, you're going against the police. You couldn't get help even if you wanted to, so it was obvious you were acting alone. You just broke out of prison, so it won't be easy to procure weapons, so you'd resorted to using old, leftover Adonis weapons. Even this poison is something we're familiar with. We figured you'd use the same method as Zero, so we already administered the antidote.
fuck we smart. So that's why you were so calm when I released the poison. You brought that woman here just to catch me off guard.
I was against it, but she was adamant about coming.
If I leave Shiraishi to himself, he's prone to do rash things without hesitation. Besides, there's something I want to prove to you. Prove what? It doesn't have to be a normal thing, but I'm still by Shiraishi's side. I'll never forsake him. Oh, more beautiful.
I never knew you were trying to prove that. Hey, Spacey, if I'm not just imagining things, that makes it seem like you really care about me.
I told you I loved you. What fucking more did you want from me? I mean, sacrifice my... I mean, I guess, but like, Jesus, Shiraishi. What? You really care about me? Bitch, I told you I loved you. Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth, Shiraishi. Fuck. I don't understand. Number 14 is a doll full of defects. I'm superior. So why can't I defeat number 14?
Are you being serious here?
What?
Don't fight hopeless battles. Assume capture to be the same as death. We were always taught that when we were in training. But once you succeeded in escaping, you should have remained in hiding while preparing an airtight plan. You need to consider 20 different scenarios. You were easy to see through because you didn't prepare enough. You got cocky thinking you were superior because you managed to put the armband on her. In my memories, you were smarter than this. Did you get dumber while you were in jail?
Shiraishi, fucking poking the bear. You like beat the bear over the head. What was that sound?
Kurose made his move. Morioka, please breach the place.
Got it. We'll take care of it. We sent the signal to Morioka to breach. We were soon freed from the room we were trapped in. The dummy armband used to trick Kurose was also removed.
Even though you have the antidote in you, there's still poison in your system. You should go to the hospital to get checked out.
No, I've come this far. Please let me stay until the end.
No, you can't risk it. I've already seen just how serious you are. So please.
Shiraishi, Hoshino, you alright? Oh, yes, we're fine. What happened to Kurose? Whole facility's under our control. Found a hidden door that we hadn't noticed the last time this place was checked out. Kurose's probably hiding in there. It's sturdy and tough to break through. Can you make your way here? We understand. We'll get there right away.
Look here. Did you not hear what I said? Your journey ends here.
I know that Shiraishi was worried for me, but I was worried because Kurose still hadn't been caught.
Oh, found you. There you are.
Okazaki?
I didn't know that SP come to places like this. Well, I'm her bodyguard right now. Plus, I gotta make up for Yoshinari's mistake.
No, that was my own fault for walking into his trap and failing to defend myself.
Even so, you were up against someone out of your league. It's dangerous to stay here too, so let's get outside.
I'm not done here yet.
Okazaki, I'm glad you're here. I can leave her to you, and this is where we part ways.
No, but I don't want to leave you. Huh? Also, what did we get, like one fucking CG in his round? I feel like where the hell are all the CGs, bitch? I was tapped on the back and I leaned towards Okazaki. Shiraishi!
And now that Kurose knows the armband and poison have no effect, it'll be all over if he captured you. To be quite honest, you'll drag me down right now.
Shiraishi was speaking the truth. There was nothing I could do right now.
Shiraishi, are you going there alone to finish things? He's barricaded in a certain room. At this rate, he'll end his own life. I don't think it's worth making her sad to go and try to save him. Maybe, but I understand how Kurose feels. And normally people try harder to succeed to make up for the times when they fail. But there's no next time for dolls. And that was the world we lived in.
Shiraishi, you want to save him, huh?
Yeah, Mikuni probably released Kurose out of guilt. Dolls depend on the orders all along, and they can't live out in the world when their chains are suddenly cut. And they've never had their own dreams. We weren't even allowed to.
I see. So that's why Kurose didn't understand Mikuni's words. But looking at it from another perspective, Mikuni's last words can be cruel.
But Kurose had the emotional anchor of achieving Mikuni's ideals. And that's no longer possible, so now Kurose has nothing left. I have to stop him. A Mikuni wouldn't want him to die.
After saying that, Shiraishi looked up with a serious look on his face that I'd never seen before. We grew up in the same environment, and I lived the same life. And he started to have a wish closer to that of humans instead of dolls. No one else can understand Kurose right now. Shiraishi was likely the only one. But even if Shiraishi wanted to save him, Kurose might not want to be saved. He was trying to kill Shiraishi in the first place. He might attempt a suicide attack.
I'm sure you're worried that I might die.
Yes.
Don't worry. I'll never die.
But you don't know that.
I do know. Because I know if I die, I know for sure Okazaki would try something. I wouldn't do anything. If I leave her to you, you're going to visit her all the time trying to soothe her broken heart.
Oh, yeah, I'd try that for sure.
Don't.
You just said that you'll leave her to me earlier.
You know that I didn't mean in that way. It's only for right now.
Don't be shy. You can lean on me more often.
No way! No matter how long it takes, I'll be the one that makes her happy.
Shiraishi declared that and turned to me.
I always wanted to be something special that couldn't be replaced. But right now, I want to be the man that'll make you happy. And that's my wish. There are times when I worry whether or not I'll be able to keep the promise we made together. But you've proven to Kurose that you'll always be by my side. And yet, do you really think I'll leave you?
I don't.
Yeah, I finally met someone that actually needs me. I won't throw that away and let things end here. Just wait for me.
Those aren't words he's just saying. I knew that. But I couldn't shake off this worry. Shiraishi... Fucking kiss him, goddammit. Oh! Look at his beautiful face. The CGs are so good in this game. I can't handle it. They're so good.
Stop. You'll weaken my determination.
God, he's so beautiful. His finger gently touched my lips. I couldn't say anything else. There was one other time that he stopped me from speaking this way. We get like old CGs. I mean, it's basically the exact same CG. They just changed the hair and everything, but still, I love it. But this was a different situation. He didn't have the same smile. His expression was filled with more love than ever. It was the expression of Kageyuki Shiraishi as a human being.
If you tell me not to go, my legs will just stand in place. I'd want to hold you close until your worries were removed. But that won't be enough to make you smile from the bottom of your heart.
I opened my eyes wide at Shiraishi's words. But
you know it's true. Happiness obtained through sacrifice will never be fulfilling. You're honest and kind, and that's why I fell in love with you.
If you say that, there's no way that I can stop you.
All part of my calculations. You know that's how I am.
This is completely different than when we first met. I can sense his kindness from that. Oh! Please go. Just as he wished for me to be myself, I wanted to support Shiraishi as he tried to do something that he chose for himself.
Thank you. I was waiting for those words.
His warmth slipped away. He turned his back to me and walked back down the path we came from. I'll believe in you and wait. Restraining my fluttering heart, I watched his back disappear from sight. This might be like, we might never see him again. He's going to go to jail and then we'll be back in the same situation. You couldn't have given us a second kissy. Look, you're going to take my boyfriend away from me. At least let me kiss him again. Jesus. I mean, at least we got a kissy, CG. Because, I mean, you know, what the fuck? Don't cock block me like that. Yeah, there's no way we're finishing chapter 4 in this part. So he gets an extra part.
The sensation of her touch and warmth still lingered in my hand. Even now that tearful face just refused to leave my brain. Even still, just what exactly am I doing? But it wasn't just me. Even Spacey was trying to save someone who tried to kill us. I wasn't in my right mind. But I'm not number 14 now. I'm Kageyuki Shiraishi.
Shiraishi. Shiraishi! Shiraishi. I can't do all their voices when they're saying,
Shiraishi.
It's just adorable.
It finally arrived. The day where you calling me that was normal. A world where I wasn't called number 14. Here, people worried about me, got angry with me. I found people who did that for someone like me. Because of all these people, I was able to fully become Kagayuki Shiraishi. Shiraishi... I was not going to be the kind of man who made you sad, Spacey. It's strange that even after taking Mikuni's life, that I'd yearn for something that...
For something that? It's supposed to be... It's strange that even after taking Mikuni's life that I would yearn for something... I'm assuming it's supposed to be like that? They just left out... Look. We know they did not do the best job. But look, we got a translation. I'll suffer through just for translation. Look, I know. I know we shouldn't. I know we should, like, hold them accountable and be like, bitches, do a decent job. You're a huge company. You should not suck like this. But we got 3 games localized just coming out back to back. Like, I'll take it because otherwise it's like, it's been 84 years. Can we please get another? Japan gets like 30 a day. It's like, this one's coming out, and this one's coming out, and this one's coming out, and you're like, we're not going to get any, and there's like 30 of them, and we're going to get like 1 localized. I mean, anyway.
Even after you looked after me for all this time, I've betrayed all that. I was positive I wouldn't be forgiven. It was only natural that I'd be hated. And that was why I was so afraid to remember that time. I know I can't mess this up, but my hands are shaking. Even though I've received so much training, when you're my partner, That day, Mikuni came at the appointed time. Unaware that he was about to be killed, he walked straight towards me.
Maybe he knows. It's like their best friend. It's kind of like funny because they don't have, it's not like we're best friends, but it's like they're best friends. Like, as far as you could possibly be best friends in this situation. But like, Mikuni treated Shiraishi like a human being and not just a number. And like, I don't think Shiraishi knew at the time, but like, was like, he is my friend. Oh, it's so sad though. You're like, you didn't really realize what was happening here. He's like, I killed him and I betrayed him and he trusts me. No, he was your friend, dude. Like, just, but I think Shiraishi might break if he realized that. Like, he was my friend. Yeah, that's what friends are. We don't normally kill our friends, but like, you know, sometimes you have to stab them when they're being douchey, I guess. I don't know. Don't stab your friends, guys. Seriously.
So I steeled my resolve and took a step forward. In order to protect Spacey, I've chosen to sacrifice him. The least I can do is ensure he doesn't suffer, so I have to end this in an instant. It's alright. Mikuni said I was gifted. The instant I thought that, I felt a sharp pain constricting my chest, because you don't want to kill your friend. But like, your friend is evil, and it's like, this is a bad situation I have to be in, you know? This isn't the time for hesitation. I have to do this. If I don't, she'll... I stepped into attack range.
I don't remember this happening in the first... Like, I don't remember him killing Mikuni. They said that he did. And I don't remember that did we actually see a scene where it happened? Don't remember.
Even still, my body wouldn't move.
I would be assuming that we wouldn't know that Shiraishi killed him till, like, it would be like, oh, Mikuni's dead. Oh my god, what? And then, like, we'd find out later that Shiraishi killed him because it wasn't... Well, did we know? When did we know in his route that he was definitely part of Adonis, aside from just being a fucking weirdo? I don't know. I can't remember. Look, I don't remember shit, okay? I don't remember what we did in fucking, like, Enomoto's route, okay? Let alone what we fucking did in a game that I played, like, 7 years ago. It wasn't that long ago, but it was... It's long enough that I don't remember.
Even still, my body wouldn't move. Why? Number 14. What? He looked at me with the exact same expression that he always had.
Now, if he had called you Shiraishi, you might not have stabbed him.
And this hurts. I gripped the knife I had concealed and opened my mouth so I'd follow through with my mission. I'm sorry. Mikuni was not surprised at the words that I spoke to him.
Like, we get so many CGs in this, but they're not Shiraishi CGs. And if they don't put them in the others, and if they put them in Shiraishi's, I'm going to be fucking pissed. Because everybody else got all their CGs, right? They were in all of them. And Shiraishi has gotten several that he's not even in. And like, oh, why they do this? They always cockblock me on my favorite boys. Like, they do. Like, we didn't get a Van Helsing fucking kissy CG. We did get to see his booty, though. Like, when we, in that epilogue. I mean, they made up for it there, but still, come on. Like, they cockblock us with all my favorites. I don't know why. Damn it. Why can't the poster boy just be my favorite? Because then I, like, would be happy all the time. But, like, no. Whatever. Number 14. Please fulfill your dreams.
Mikuni just stood there quietly smiling. You knew everything, yet you still came here. I wanted to ask that, but I shut my mouth. I knew I mustn't ask that. If he answered, I wouldn't be able to act. And if he figured that out, I'd miss my chance. Why did I apologize? I don't think that was necessary. It just got in the way of the goal. That wasn't how I was taught. After all, I was just a doll without a heart.
But you aren't, because you felt bad about killing your friend, but you need... You know what I mean? And you did it to save us, so obviously you're not a doll without a heart.
Yes, that was true. Until the very end, Mikuni was praying that I'd be able to fulfill my dreams. And this was when I understood that some things couldn't just be done by anyone. And maybe this was out of guilt for all the people I used as pawns. Even still, I am grateful. And now I want to fulfill your dreams. I'll save you. Once we reached the room where Kurose was, I didn't know what kind of traps he had set up, so I had the field unit stand down. It's possible that this is where Adonis was storing the weapons they developed. Rooms like these didn't exist when I was in Adonis. When we were searching for a way to remove Spacey's collar, we also entered one of these weapons storerooms. Maybe the password I got that time would still work. I relied on my memory and input the password. After that, the retinal scan began and I waited for the door to open.
Denied!
It opened. I didn't even wait for the door to fully open before I stepped inside.
What?
He wasn't expecting me to be the one to come. With a shocked expression on his face, he stepped away from me, knife in hand.
Really? Knife in hand? I mean, there's a lot of knives, but there's a lot of fucking guns, is all I'm saying. Hope Shiraishi brought a gun to your knife fight. You... Why are you here?
I'm here for you. Drop the knife and come with me.
What?
Kurose's face twisted and betrayed his complete misunderstanding of the situation.
I get it. You're trying to hand me over to the police so you'll get off easier, is that it?
No. I'm here because I don't want you to die.
You screwing with me right now?
No, I'm not. I can't let you die, for Mikuni's sake as well.
Well, in that case, why don't you die instead?
No, I'd rather not, thank you. As though he had forgotten something, Kurose lunged forward at me.
If I kill you, people will recognize my worth.
I parried the incoming knife attack, but Kurose's grip on the weapon didn't waver. Stop! I didn't come here to fight you.
Just what do you know? You wouldn't join the outside world like a coward. There's no way I can lose to you the way you are now. What a fucking bet.
He was obviously consumed with emotion. A reason was no longer an option. In that case... So I'm a coward, huh? Still, I have to say I prefer the way I am now.
Huh?
I stepped in quicker than Kurose could react and delivered a swift kick to his abdomen.
Gah!
Kurose wasn't the type to accept being defeated by an opponent he considers beneath him.
Don't get cocky. That was nothing. You're coughing up blood, dude.
As I expected, he immediately rose to his feet and counterattacked. Just what I was waiting for. While hunched over, Kurose leaned into a to an attack. I deflected his attack aside and grabbed his wrist with both hands. I used his momentum and pulled firmly on his arm. The instant I felt Kurose lose his balance, I slammed him to the ground. Nice, fucking Shiraishi. Kurose had forgotten about the knife, and this was the opportunity I needed. I took his knife from him and held it to his throat from behind.
Shiraishi! Look at those fucking eyes! Like, fuck.
That's enough for today.
Why won't you kill me?
My goal isn't to kill you, but I certainly didn't come here to let you kill me.
If you let me go, I might try and kill you again.
If that happens, I'll take you on again. Relationships like this make life worth living.
Sure enough, just don't understand you. If I'd been the one that got those orders 11 years ago, things wouldn't have turned out like this. Nah, you're wrong. Because if we chose your path, then it would have been fine.
Maybe you're right. You would have been trapped in your little bubble, living your sheltered life. Another just like me.
Don't lump us together. Out of all the dolls, you were special. He never sent shoes twice to just one person, I'm assuming. That was you.
Twice? What do you mean?
You didn't know. That must mean you didn't get them. It's been 10 years since you left. You who had been through every stage of Adonis. You were the one that Mikuni said he sent those shoes to. Why would he do that for someone who might betray him is something I couldn't understand. And then Mikuni was murdered soon after that. You were better than the rest, and Mikuni was expecting so much from you. Yes, and we did so much, just not for him. We did it for everyone else. You were a failed product. You had no right to those shoes.
You're right. I don't think anyone can just be fine after the person they respected most is murdered. I understand why you do what you do for Mikuni. However, I'm not about to let myself get killed. That's because there's someone whom I'd given my heart to who is waiting for me. So, I'm sorry.
Sparring an opponent you should have killed, and then apologizing to them? There isn't another doll like that. An effective spy can't have emotions, but he didn't try to eliminate you, the failed product. Wasn't he hoping for a perfect doll?
I don't know, but I'm sure he was conflicted.
There's no way God would be conflicted. He couldn't be.
Well, why do you insist on calling him Rei Mikuni and not Zero?
Because
Number 14 was always right by his side when Mikuni would sometimes show his true self. With your exceptional abilities, I'm sure we'll be able to send you on missions to the outside world in a few years. You were raised in here, so the outside world will be full of completely unknown experiences for you. It'll be a challenge deciding when to behave like a member of Adonis and when to be a normal person. So, to you who are about to take the first step into the future, I give these. Are these leather shoes?
These are things that I haven't, and then no one else has received before. Is it because I'm still green? If I were a better doll, then maybe it would have entrusted more to me. I wanted him to believe in me, and then someday if I were like you.
Kurose then held his head in his hands. His face twisted in agony, and he glared at me.
I can't become like you. I mustn't become like you.
In an instant, I took an elbow to the stomach and was thrown backwards.
Of course, it's not going to end like this. Like, this is a long-ass route. There's a lot going on, but... I mean, it's good, but it's just not... We don't get the squishy, soft romance that everybody else had. So... Number 14, I am better than you, and I'll prove it!
My cheeks stung from the attack. The taste of iron began to spread through my mouth more quickly.
I don't need a knife to beat you. I'll beat you barehanded. Come at me like you mean to kill.
No, I no longer take orders. You must choose what you should do, on your own.
but I'm still gonna beat your ass.
Kurose was getting emotional, and that caused his movements to get sloppy.
I'll kill you, number 14!
He shifted his shoulders and came in for a punch, but he telegraphed it, traded speed for power. And naturally, that left an opening. That definitely hasn't changed one bit. I remembered that I had sparred with him. Those memories merged with the visions of him directly in front of me. Number 13. I'm sure that Mikuni was paying attention to you.
Huh?
He took something off his attack for an instant. With the butt of his knife that I had liberated, I swung downwards at the base of his neck.
What?
He tried to remain conscious, but he quickly began fading and collapsed to the floor. I know. Because Mikuni didn't leave Adonis to you. He desired your happiness. Prior to his death, just as with Kurose, Mikuni had made preparations for all the dolls he raised. If what Kurose told me about the shoes is true, Mikuni, knowing he would be killed, even cared about me as well. He gave me shoes to live in the outside world, but that boy wasn't here anymore. However, he opened a path for me to live. Thank you. My meeting with Mikuni in the confines of that walled garden was deeply meaningful to me.
Shiraishi informed the field operations unit that he had disabled Kurose. They began to move out. I just stood there praying, gazing into the entrance. I stood there fretfully, waiting as the field operations unit brought Kurose out, and then, surrounded by police officers, I finally saw Shiraishi. Shiraishi! Shiraishi smiled at me as I approached him, unable to contain myself.
You don't need to be so excited. I'm the one who's all worked up here.
You're hurt, aren't you? Your cheek is pretty badly bruised up, and your whole body looks like it took a beating.
These don't even count as being hurt. When I was in Adonis...
You aren't number 14 now, Shiraishi.
Huh. Spacey, are you angry?
I was really worried until you returned. But I had made a decision to stay put, even though I was able to hear the two of you talking and fighting. Even though Kurose had a knife and you were unarmed, I had no idea what was going to happen. I didn't even feel like I was alive. Of course I was worried about you.
I'm sorry. Spacey, do you dislike me now?
Fuck no, I love you even more.
Oh, it's definitely not that. Every time Kurose did something to you, her face would twist up in a furious expression.
Okazaki! I didn't have a furious expression.
Oh, really? Well, I gotta say that I've never seen that scary of a face before. I think I saw something like that when she grabbed me by the chest. Seems like it was worse than this time.
Shiraishi, that...
She grabbed you by the chest, Shiraishi? Please continue telling that story.
Oh, you two! I wanted both of them to stop, but once I saw Shiraishi's smile, I couldn't say anything. Shiraishi, do you really understand that before too long, we won't be together? We can only be together until this case is solved. Even though I knew this, whenever we took a step closer, my chest tightened in pain. This game is like, do you feel happy? I'm just gonna dig the knife in! I'm glad that you two are all right. Minagishi, I'm sure that Shiraishi and Okazaki understood that their roles were over. They awaited Minagishi's next words. Thanks to your diligent work, collateral damage was kept to an absolute minimum. You might be called upon when it comes time to interrogate Kurose. Are you okay with that?
I have no reason to decline. That's fine with me.
Of course, I'll also cooperate. He's like, not you, fucking Hoshino, Jesus. Thank you. And now then, as for the matter of what we're to do with you, Kagayuki Shiraishi. Even though he assisted us greatly, he's still someone who needs to be kept under surveillance. There's still a small chance that he might be working with Kurose so they can both escape. You don't need to return immediately. So that day has finally arrived. At the very least, I wanted to burn Shiraishi's... image into my memory. I gazed at Shiraishi. With so much at stake and at a pivotal point, we'll need even tighter surveillance. Therefore, Miss Hoshino, can I leave that up to you? Huh? Minagishi! He's such a wingman right now! He's not stupid. I told you when they're talking about the thing and they all heard them on they're like, Minagishi and fucking, what's his name? We're sitting there like, are we gonna just pretend that we think that they're just friends? Minagishi's like, I got this, don't worry. Hoshino, I'm gonna need you to keep an eye on him until we can't get him back in his prison cell today. Gosh darn, because that prison is closed at the moment. So could you just watch him overnight, maybe? What? Minagishi's like, just do it, stupid. Minagishi is better than this game to us. Minagishi is trying to get us laid, and the game is like cock blocking us left and right. I appreciate Minagishi so fucking much. From now until sundown tomorrow, can I ask you to monitor Kageyuki Shiraishi? Huh? Me?
Wait, what are you saying, Minagishi?
Is that allowed? Minagishi's like, shut the fuck up and do her, goddamn. These two are like, God, you idiots. Shiraishi's right. Don't go making decisions like this without consulting me first. I'm pretty sure Minagishi is your boss. Aw, of course it'd be like this. They obviously weren't going to let me monitor him. It's probably Minagishi making a joke. Minagishi is the fucking commissioner. I'm pretty sure he outranks Morioka. This won't be any burden to you, Morioka. I'll handle all of the troublesome paperwork. When you're that nice to someone, it usually means you're plotting something. You know what? I almost wish we had played this before we did before we did Minagishi's route. Because then it would be like, what? Minagishi, no! And then you go down this route and you're like, oh wow, no, Morioka was right about him. That's a rude thing to say. Besides, this is merely a precautionary measure. Precautionary measure? Yes, for better or for worse, Kageyuki Shiraishi is crucially important to us. We've got to ensure that he's able to cooperate. Since Miss Hoshino has special feelings towards him, she won't allow anything to happen while she's by his side. That's my thought process. Oh god, I thought Minagishi was trying to play coy and pretend. And he's like, since she's in love with him, what? I never... He's like, do we look fucking stupid to you?
I see. A psychological restraint. Indeed, I think that'll be very effective. Minagishi, your personality is as twisted as mine.
Maybe that's why we liked Minagishi so much. Yeah, wow. No, you're downright cute compared to Minagishi here. I want a longer Minagishi route now. Fucking son of a bitch. I'll take that as a compliment. That said, there's also a secondary purpose to this. Letting us get a conjugal visit? It'll be a huge deal to the rest of the force that we took Kurose alive. However, we can't exactly publicize how we did this. Without overlooking things like this a bit here and there, events wouldn't have turned out so nicely. Does this mean this wasn't happening, and yet it wasn't a joke? So long as we have a real excuse to keep the brass off our backs, do what you want. Morioka hurried off, almost as though he couldn't stand being there another second. He's like, all these fucking people are crazy. Well, Morioka has given his approval, so it's all settled. I got one more day to spend with Shiraishi. The realization of this slowly spread over me.
Well, if you're going to give me a reward, I'll gladly accept.
Please do. I'll be taking my leave now. The rest will be handled by other people. Also, take off your microphones and earpiece, because we don't want to hear that shit. I've already seen what happened in that prison cell the other night. Minagishi! Perv. Excuse me, Minagishi, do you have a moment? Yes, what is it? You've got extra time to spend. I'd suggest that you use it well. I love Minagishi. He's such a fucking bro. He's like, you have like a day. I'd use it well. Like, don't leave the fucking house and stay in bed the whole time. Minagishi, I just want to hug this man. Minagishi, you're my best friend now. If it's possible... Minagishi's like, buy condoms on your own. 422-7058. Wait, why are we back here? Why are we here and not in my apartment? We can't have sex here. There's camera. I mean, okay, fuck it. You know what? Cameras, whatever. We've done worse. I had no idea how it was possible, but we officially had one more day to spend together. We still haven't gotten to any of the choices in Chapter 4, so we've definitely got another part.
This is strange. And this was the time breakfast was usually distributed, but nothing has come yet.
Oh, that's what she was asking him. As Shiraishi peered through the meal hole, I arranged the things I had prepared on the table. Shiraishi, please come here. Huh? What is this? Rice from a container, plastic rice bowls, a rice scoop, dried plums, nori, salt, and a furikake? Shiraishi tilted his head in confusion after seeing those things arranged on the table. But here's the weird thing. Oh, you get one more day to spend together. So you're letting me just stay in his prison cell with him. I kind of just figured they'd let him come home with me, but I guess that's a little too free. Yesterday when I spoke with Minagishi, I got some things that are allowed to be brought in here. Now then, wash your hands. Why? I'll explain after you've washed your hands. We're gonna cook together. I pushed Shiraishi from behind and he began to walk towards the sink. Shiraishi seemed surprised. It sure was difficult to distract him long enough to do this. I'm so grateful that Minagishi helped with it. It's like, where the fuck is my breakfast? I've washed my hands. Isn't that today's breakfast? Yes, but not like this. We're going to make rice balls now. So cute. Rice balls? Well, honestly, I wanted to make you omelet rice, but we can't use a stove or bring anything with a blade in here, so I thought about what we could use here without using a stove or a knife. First, dip your hand in the rice bowl with water in it, then take a pinch of salt. Then put the rice that you scooped with the rice scoop in your hand, then put a dried plum inside. Then, without smashing the rice, use your hands to quickly shape it. Okay, this one's finished. Wow, a perfectly triangular rice ball. I think I can do this too. Shiraishi immediately put the rice in his hands and began shaping it. It looked like he was doing well, however, I just can't get it to stay together. And maybe you need to apply more pressure. Not like that. If you squeeze too hard, when you take a bite, it'll come apart in your mouth. For some reason, whenever Shiraishi tried to shape one, it always turned out misshapen. This would literally be me doing this. You know, there's a way to do this without using your hands. But they told me not to bring much in here, so we can't use plastic wrap to ball it up. Because he might choke us with it? Like, what the I pushed the rice together in a rice bowl and mixed in some furikake. After that, I moved the bowl around and tried to ball up the rice that way. You also need to be careful not to overdo it when doing it this way, but this is the technique I used when I was younger. Well, if you could do this as a kid, then I can do it. Probably. Probably not. Shiraishi carefully began to move the rice around in the bowl. The rice ball gradually began to take shape, but then a tragedy occurred. He might have used too much force, but the rice flew out of the bowl. It landed with a little plop on the table. That is literally every time I try to do anything, like fucking shit just goes everywhere. If you're not used to doing this, this will happen. And that one was looking promising too. This rice bowl also might be a bit too small for this technique, now that I think about it. I thought this would be a fun thing to do together, but it didn't seem to be going well. He looks so unhappy. I hope this isn't boring him. I think that was going pretty well. I'm getting the hang of this. Oh, really? Yeah, at least it's easier than making fried eggs. Let me concentrate. Fried eggs are so fucking easy. Sure. Shiraishi was having more fun than I expected. He won't be able to focus if I stare at him. I'll make different types of rice balls to stay busy. Colorful rice balls with the furikake, some rice balls shaped of a cat. I realized that Shiraishi was extremely quiet. I wonder how it's going. I was going to speak up when Shiraishi walked over to me with his hand behind his back. Look, I'm proud of this one. Ta-da! It's gigantic. For a moment, I thought he was going to show me a bomb and inhaled, but a closer inspection, wrapped in the nori, was a gigantic rice ball. Oh my fucking god, Shiraishi. Look at this. This is pretty impressive. It was smaller at first, but it started to lose its shape, so I added more rice and it stuck. Plus, bigger is better after all, right? Making it this big must have been pretty difficult, no? Not at all. It was fun. And there's a dried plum in the center of this, which it would take you an hour to get to. And I bet it'll take a while to reach it, too. But it certainly has presence. It's way bigger than the ones I made. I mean, it's like a bowling ball. I'm giving this to you. Huh? Really? Yeah, this turned out way better than the eggs. After all, you didn't eat much yesterday, right? Oh, so you noticed.
I mean, there was a lot going on, so there wasn't really much time to eat. If you don't eat, you won't be healthy. I always want you to be healthy.
Thank you. All of Shiraishi's kindness had been put into this rice ball. Once I realized that, I started to smile. How are they going to do the text thing with Shiraishi being in prison since we can't actually text him? I don't know, but I took the hefty rice ball and took a bite.
Well, is it good?
Shiraishi stared at me and I nodded. I'm so happy right now. I'm so happy right now. Oh, look, he's blushing. I am so happy right now. That's the right answer. And then we're going to leave.
Me too. You went to all this trouble just to have me eat what you made. And you happily ate what I made. I'm so happy. It's scaring me.
Shiraishi, please eat the rice balls that I've made for you too.
Right. Oh!
They're cat-shaped. Yes, I think I did a pretty good job, if I do say so myself.
What? It's a waste to eat something this nice. But it's also a waste not to eat it.
Shiraishi stared at the rice balls I made for him with shining eyes. There's some more over here. I put a lot of different kinds of furikake in it.
And they're cute and roly-poly. And they definitely look like they were made by a girl.
Are they too small?
If I'm still hungry, you'll make more, right?
Yes, of course.
That was a luxurious breakfast. I don't think tomorrow's will cut it. Sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I don't want to make you sad. I was just thinking about how happy I am right now. And thank you for doing this for me.
It's all right. So happy that you enjoyed it. Please eat a lot, okay?
Right. Would you mind feeding me?
Huh?
In this book Mineo gave me, it said that lovers feed each other.
He's gone and learned something weird again. That might be a little tough to do with a rice ball.
Really? It doesn't seem like it'd be that difficult if you try. Although it might be a bit more embarrassing since you'd be using your hands. I see. We can't feed each other.
Oh, now he's disappointed. Shall we give it a try? Shiraishi's face lit up after hearing my timid acquiescence.
Really? All right. Okay, I'll feed you first then. Mine's too big, so let's try with one of these smaller ones you made.
With an innocent smile, Shiraishi raised the rice ball to my lips.
Okay, say ah.
This is way more embarrassing than I expected. Munch munch.
Well, how is it?
Yes, it's good, but...
Huh? Is something wrong? You're eating one of the ones that you made.
No, it's not that. It's just that it's so embarrassing that I couldn't really taste anything.
I see. Yeah, your face is pretty red. You're avoiding eye contact and you're acting strange.
You don't need to say it out loud. I mean, I've never done this before.
Huh? I'm your first.
That's right. So obviously I'm going to feel a bit nervous.
Right.
Suddenly, Shiraishi seemed to fall into deep thought and dropped his eyes to the floor. I mean, a lot of this is first for Shiraishi too, like being a human and all. It's your turn now, Shiraishi.
Right.
Okay,
Oh, hold on a moment.
What is it? I put the rice ball up to Shiraishi's mouth. For some reason, Shiraishi turned his face and stopped the rice ball with his hand. Oh, he's embarrassed!
No, this isn't working for me. It's just too embarrassing.
It's so cute! Oh, now you figure that out! It wasn't uncommon for Shiraishi to act like this on occasion. He's completely on board with the concept when he suggests it. He'd be willing to get so close when he was the one in control, but when the situation gets reversed, he would get too embarrassed. Well, it is kind of cute though. It's fucking adorable, especially in chibi form. Sorry, I can't accept that. After all, you fed me, Shiraishi.
But this doesn't seem a bit much to you. I mean, this is more embarrassing than kissing.
We could do a lot more of that too. More than kissing? I don't think so. This is a little more embarrassing. Like, kissing is normal. This is a little awkward, but I didn't get us thinking sometimes, but I had no intention of backing down. Well, whatever the case, this is something we do to each other, so please open your mouth. Out of context, wow.
You sure are stubborn in these moments. Fine, you got me. Here, feed me.
Okay,
how
is it?
I literally can't taste anything.
You just can't tell me, you mean. Without thinking, I laughed out loud. All right. We're going to stop here, and we will probably finish his ending in the next part. So we'll see how much of chapter 4 we get, if we can, like, how far we get, like, how much left we have. We have, like, 3 fucking choices, so... we have a bunch of choices. We'll get our ending, hopefully, and then we'll see if we can do the after story and then the text message thingies, or, you know, if we gotta do the text messages, you know, in the part with the other endings. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.